What if you could experience psychedelic like brain states and achieve mind blowing insights without taking any drugs? Find out more in this episode of the Radiate Wellness Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Radiate Wellness Podcast with your host, metaphysician, Reiki master, and hypnotherapist, Christi Clemens Hoffman. Each week, we will discover teachings, tips, and tools to radiate your best life ever with practitioners, authors, and luminaries to help you on your path. Wellness, joy, peace, abundance. What do you want to radiate?
Hello, and welcome back to the Radiate Wellness Podcast. I am your host, Christi Clemens Hoffman, a hypnotherapist, Reiki master, and spiritual intuitive based in the Kansas City area. Now, in this episode, we feature our newest practitioner with Radiate Wellness, which is the group practice that I started 10 years ago, if you can believe it. 10 years of this group practice, Radiate Wellness. And Stacy L. Gonzalez, my guest today, is our newest practitioner. Now, I had never heard of the Lucia Light or Lucia N⁰03 Light that Stacy uses in her sessions, but I am a big fan of white light in general. I know that there's so much power in light. It literally keeps our planet alive. So I think you're going to enjoy hearing about this and how you can have profound breakthroughs and insights without even taking drugs. So I think this will be interesting for you. Now, before we get too much further, I wanted to issue my standard asks. That is, if you enjoy this content, if you like hearing from providers, practitioners, authors, luminaries from around the world, and who doesn't, then please share this podcast with your friends and connections. Share this episode, share the whole show. It doesn't really matter, but just share this out with the people that you know, because that's how we grow our audience. Also, if you would please hit like, subscribe, follow, whatever it is on whichever platform that you are currently on right now. And that way you will receive notification the next time that we have an episode drop. And again, this also helps new people find us and grow the audience by generating algorithms. And then finally, if you are feeling particularly jaunty, please go and leave a review about the Radiate Wellness Podcast. 5 stars, a like, a little blurb if you feel like you've got some time and would like to write one. Doesn't take very much at all. And then lastly, if you enjoy this content, I commit to you that it will always be free for you. However, it's not free for me to produce. There are costs associated with it that come out of my pocket. So if you would, just maybe slip a $5 donation link down in the show description and send a few bucks my way to help cover some of the costs. That would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, I don't want to hold you any further, so please enjoy this episode. Thank you so much for joining me today, Stacy. I think this is going to be a fun conversation. And let me just say, I love the way that you've got your office set up. I know you're at your office. It's beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you here and that we could set this up.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So you bring the Lucia Light to Radiate Wellness and to the Kansas City area, I should say, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucia Light, this is a fascinating thing. Tell us about it.
So it's a hypnagogic white light. It was created by a neurologist and a psychologist. The psychologist had a near-death event when he was a child. And when he became an adult, he started studying it, realizing when people go through that kind of event, everybody tends to see the white light. And when they experience that kind of event, they have a transformation of their life. They stop worrying about the small stuff. They start to have more gratitude for their life. And so he started kind of mimicking it with his clients. Like when they were under hypnosis, he started putting a flashlight in their eyes to try to kind of create that perceptual change. And then it just kind of kept growing from there. And so they have found with the light that through the studies, they found that the brainwave patterns are very similar to psychedelics without the use of psychedelics.
Yeah, interesting. But this isn't like a flashlight in your eyes.
Correct. There's 2 different units. The one I have is the practitioner unit. So it has 8 LED lights and 1 halogen light in the center, and it radiates or switches between a constant and flickering lights and just moves in all sorts of patterns and things of that nature. And it's purely white light that it gives. Now, it shifts from a warm to a cool white light based on if that halogen's on, but it's pure white light that it's giving. And so all the colors that people end up seeing are just created from within themselves.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild because I've done this and it is just like it's intense. I'll tell you that. It's a lot of light. And you have your eyes closed anyway,
Yes. Yes.
right? Just like, you don't want to stare at the sun. You don't want to stare at this light.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Because it's one of those things like it's not like if you happen to always tell people if you happen to open your eyes, it's not going to hurt your eyes just when you close it. You're going to have the imprint, just like if you look at a light bulb and you close it, you're like, oh, I can see the light. Just have the imprint for a minute until it kind of fades out of your vision. But yeah, that's the beauty of this light is that people have that control. I have over 100 different programs I can choose, and there are different levels of intensity because some people, the lowest level of intensity, they get great visuals from it. Some people like myself, I usually tend to go to the higher intensities to be able to get those visuals. And it varies based on your day and kind of what's been going on with you
Oh,
in that
really?
sense as well, too. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay. So you can do like 2 sessions on consecutive days and you have a different experience.
Oh, yeah. And even if you did the exact same session a day later, you will see different visuals because it's based on kind of what's firing up in your nervous system of what your brain interprets and sees.
Interesting. So when you say 2 different sessions, you don't mean like 2 different days. There's something more to that. What's that about?
Well, yeah, it could be. I mean, it's one of those things that, like I said, I have over 100 different programs to choose from. And so
Ah,
sometimes based on the time that's available for our session, like sometimes you might have 2 different programs like run for your session. And so it helps keep the brain in a little bit of that, like that deeper hypnotic state kind of a thing.
interesting. Interesting. Okay. So the person who developed this, they were finding like what kind of results were they finding when people did this?
There have been so many results from it, like with like psychedelics when they're used as medicine kind of a thing. So many people basically, it just kind of taps into that higher knowledge that it gets that conscious mind to kind of and allows you to tap into that deeper knowledge that's already within you. And by doing that, then that allows you, it gives you that space to kind of see the different things in a different perspective. And so they have found that so many people have had, not only have they had like energetic, emotional healings, but then a lot of times they
Yeah.
then interpret it into like physical healings because when your mind can allow these things to process through, your body allows it to process through.
Interesting. Interesting. So results vary a lot.
It really does. It really, really does. And it's just one of those things that I always say, because there's science behind what it's doing to the brain waves and everything like that. But for me, it's more, I just feel like it connects you back to yourself. I feel like we're born full of love and light, and life happens, it clouds it. We start to not see our light as much. And so for me, the machine just kind of helps reconnect you back to that because we're not supposed to be people that are stuck in pain, whether it's physical or emotional pain. Yes, there is going to be pain in life because we can't control others. And, it's just the nature of the world that we're living in. But at the same time, we're not meant to be stuck in it and stay in it and have it just consume us.
Absolutely not. Now,
Yeah.
you had an interesting origin story how you came across this.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah. So my husband and I, we had this friend that had gotten this new light out in Tulsa. And so we're like, we were just going to go spend a weekend, kind of visit with her. And we're like, oh, we'll try her new little light. We were like open to it. We didn't go in having any expectation, having any knowledge of it or anything like that. And so we went in and we received the light as a couple. And so even though we had like the same pattern of light coming through and everything like that, we saw totally different things. While I was under the light, I ended up having a huge vision and heard a voice. So the vision was a lotus flower with like a goddess figure coming out of it. And the voice said, Stacy, you don't have to be so serious. You can let it go. And it was like, immediately the floodgates open and I started crying. And so when I came out of the session, I was like, okay, what the heck? Especially at that point, I was not very woo. Like I always say for the science community, I'm very woo. But for the woo community, I'm very science-based because I have my background in the whole healing industry, started in physical therapy, then I went to massage therapy. So it's kind of like, I feel like I was very even killed, but I have never had a vision or heard voices like that or heard anything like that. And so it was one of those huge, like, what the heck was this? This is just a white light. So it really started opening up something to me. And so at that point, I was kind of like, okay, I want to find out a little more about the light because it's a pretty big investment kind of for the machinery.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's high quality medical grade steel and it's created with the highest of intentions too. So there's cost to all of that. So it's kind of one of those like, okay, I needed to find out a little bit more. So I had gone back down to kind of find out a little bit more about it. And so I spent like a weekend with her to kind of try it a little bit more, to see a little bit more about it. And what ended up being like my third session, this pattern comes up and I start to kind of feel a little anxious during it. And I'm like, okay, just breathe, Stacy. It's going to shift. So I'm trying to kind of focus on my breath, but I just kept feeling more and more anxious. And so at that point, I like covered my eyes and I told her, I was like, I can't catch my breath. I need to get this light out of my face. And so she said, okay, do you want to stop or do you want to just decrease the intensity? And I say at that point, I was trying to decide if I was going to invest in it. So I was like, okay, just decrease the intensity because, I don't want to quit on it. And so she decreased the intensity. And after that, it was like instantly so relaxing. Like I kept feeling like I was like, oh, I think I just dozed off a little bit like in between it. And so when the session was over, I asked her, I said, I told her, I said, oh, I should have increased the intensity back. And she had said at that point, she's like, oh, I did. She was like, I let you recalibrate. She goes, and then I slowly increased it again and just kind of monitored you. And I said, really? I said, because it was night and day difference. I was like, it was so relaxing afterwards, like no big deal. And so she said that I was resisting a breakthrough. Well, I always say at that time, like there was nothing consciously in my mind, absolutely nothing. And then even afterwards, when I was sitting there trying to kind of sit with it and be like, okay, well, what was that? Like nothing actively came to my mind about it. So I was like, okay. And so at that point, like the next day I came back and it was nice, had relaxing, had a couple of light visions. And then so I was like, at that point, I decided I wanted to go ahead and invest in it. So my husband and I come back a couple months later while I was waiting for my machine to come in because it comes from Austria. And so while I was waiting for mine to come in, we're sitting there. And as we're talking, it finally dawned on me what it was. Because I realized, so my husband and I had been together since we were like teenagers. And so there was just a lot of past hurts, past wounds and things like that. And so anytime I'd get triggered, I would just get pulled back into the past and I would be stuck right back in that hurt. And I'd try to pull him back into that hurt. And it would just stay in my body and it would take forever for it to finally like move through. And so I had realized after having that third session, I could see that I would still have those triggers, but they would move right through me. I was not getting pulled back into that past again anymore. And so for me, I think it was the resistance of letting it fully go, resistance of truly allowing forgiveness, truly moving through it is what I think was like subconsciously resisting a little bit. And I was able to break through it. And it's just been night and day. Like I just have not had those past wounds hold me back like they were at that time. Like it was really consuming the different things whenever I get triggered. It was just so heavy energetically. And it was one of those things that this got it, to let it go, move through, move on. But this just would not let it go. And I did counseling, I had done therapy, I had done the EMDR. I did so many different things to try to move through because I knew I didn't want to be stuck in that pain, but I couldn't, nothing was clicking, nothing was helping me to fully process it. Like all of them, they caused movement for sure, but it wasn't until I had my session with the light that it was like it fully moved through me and just was fully released.
Hey, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Then you decided you wanted to invest in it, and you're only one in Kansas City who does this.
Who has the practitioner light. I do have a friend that has the home portal. So it's a little bit smaller, so it's less lights, but it's still very powerful in itself too.
Right, right. But you're the only one in the area who offers this for clients.
No, she does too. Like she does like the home portal unit. So it's a little bit different, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's pretty fantastic. But do people have to like come to you to have this experience?
It is more powerful when it's in person, when you have that direct connection to the light. I also offer online sessions. So I've started to do a shadow and light journey online where I pull 2-card tarot and base a meditation off of that. And so with the light being online, it's a little bit less intense, but I still have had people have those kind of visions and those breakthroughs with the light with it as well.
That's amazing. And so, yeah, you can do this in groups. That's pretty cool. Like,
Yes, I can do it up to 6 people at a time.
okay, so how does that work?
So it's basically, it gets set on kind of like a tripod. So then basically you're laying connected. You're definitely sitting right next to each other, laying together. With it being up, it's just going. And it's so interesting because even when it's in the group setting, they're getting the same pattern and frequency of light. everybody will see something different because, again, it's based on what's firing up in their nervous system.
Oh, wow. Wow. How long do these things last?
I have a mini session for some people because they've said too, like, they're like, 5 minutes under the light is beneficial. It can help kind of reset
Oh,
you. But
wow.
for me, I like to give them as the way I like to receive them. So I'm someone who it takes a minute for my monkey mind to quiet down and to allow me to fully drop into it. So I like to provide my sessions are like 75 minutes, and some of that time is kind of like intention setting and then reintegration afterwards. So the actual light time runs between 45 to 60 minutes.
Yeah. 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 How long into a session do people start to receive the benefits?
Oh, immediately. I mean, as soon as you're able to kind of be open to it, it happens. And honestly, like a lot of my people tend to fall asleep under it.
Ugh.
When I was first learning how to run it and work with it, I had reached out to my mentor. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I'm like, everybody's falling asleep. And she was like, if you think about it, she goes, that's one of our most basic needs of our nervous system. She's like, so if the nervous system is feeling relaxed enough to allow that to happen, she's like, it's fine. She goes, because they're still receiving it. Even if they're dozing off, they're still receiving that light. It's still coming into the nervous system. It's still changing the brainwave patterns. And so it's still creating those ripple effects. It's just sometimes they just don't have as much of the conscious visuals as people who stay, alert.
Right, 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 right. And then you offer couple sessions too. So kind of similar
Yeah.
to a group session, I would guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have it set up to where in my office, I can always do couples. If I do any more up than two at a time, like I have to set up special time because I have to have like a bigger space for them to lay down in. But I can always do singles or couples in my office. And it's one of those things that it's very connecting to do it as a couple. Even though, again, like even while you're under it, you're still receiving your own light and your own journey within. But it's just interesting to experience this and to sit there and to go in there with that intention of either releasing hurts or growing or just getting more knowledge or getting inspiration even because they also call it neuro art. So sometimes it's like even just that inspiration of a different thought pattern, kind of sometimes like when you're stuck on something, sometimes you just can't think of the next step. And so sometimes getting that space, getting that movement will also cause that downloads to kind of come in.
Yeah. Oh, that's really, really interesting. Now, I've found in my hypnosis sessions, people will say, well, then you put a light on during the session. I'm like, no, I didn't. I didn't put any lights on. I mean, the room was dim, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like that light can be very transformative, like the near death experience or the psychedelics without having the
Mhm.
physical effects of it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I feel like our essence is light and love. And so it's like doing your hypnosis. If you're allowing them to process and release some of that stuff, their light's coming through for them. Their light's starting to show them the remembrance of the core of who they are, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's really interesting. Now, this is a weird question. Do you ever take the light to people or do they always come to your office?
Oh, yeah. No, I can take it to places too. Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
well, yeah, I
Yeah.
know you take it to the metaphysical fairs.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always an interesting little setting. So for the metaphysical fairs, it is a little bit different because that setting in that sense too. But we do the noise canceling headphones, kind of help try to block out some of that. And also, the music can help enhance the session as well too, help you to kind of get into that deeper meditative state.
Yeah.
But I actually have like a little Adirondack chair, so like a couples, so that you can still do couples even at the fairs. So yeah, it kind of makes it kind of fun.
And you set up a tent to make it more
Mhm.
private and dim
Yeah. Yeah.
lights. But I don't think you put any mask or anything over their eye.
No,
And
because your eyes are closed, so it's traveling through the optic nerve into
yeah.
the brain. Yeah.
Yeah. So the science of it, can you talk a little bit more about the science of it and what it does?
So my understanding of it is basically with your eyes closed, it's traveling through the optic nerve and it just creates a different brainwave pattern. It gets that brain into kind of that harmonic state, kind of gets like I said, it gets that conscious mind to shush and kind of corrects. Because the neurologist, we just had a conference and the neurologist was trying to explain it. It's one of those things that it's like science, some of the science of it is like above me. I'm just like, I'm like, I don't fully understand it. I just know it works, you know? But it is one of those, to me, it's just creating that space. Because when we're stuck in it, like it's just hard for us to get beyond when it's like right here in our face, the different things like that.
Yeah. That's wild. That's wild. And how it
Yeah,
just like works on your nervous system.
it does. It
Very
does.
interesting. So over time, you've been doing this. Well, how long have you been doing this?
I'm a little over 3 years now.
Wow. Over time, what have your benefits been like?
Oh, they've been tremendous. Like I said, just the biggest one is that releasing of the past wounds and just allowing that energy, that heaviness, just to allow it to release and to not be held back by that anymore is just huge. But on a regular basis, like I always say, like when I could tell when I'm like starting to have a little bit less patience and like a little more road ragey, like, okay, I need to go sit with the light. I need to let myself come back to the center of like be a little bit more calm and be a little bit more true to my essence. But it's also one of those things too that like a lot of times, like when I'm wanting like inspiration for things, like if I'm like, okay, I'm wanting to do something new with my business or do something new with my family, like I'll get under the light. And a lot of times just being with that, having that space, having that connection will really just kind of help allow you to that inspiration to move through. But I also say one of the biggest things too that is really in the years I've been working with it, it has really opened up like my third eye has opened up that connection to spirit, has opened up that channeling. Cause I'm sure like everybody's capable of that. Everybody has that within themselves. But I think it's one of those like I definitely closed it off a lot. I think from growing up, just, it's the way I was raised. And it wasn't, it just wasn't one of those things that it was very open or talked about, in the 80s and 90s, kind of thing. It's really helped open up that energy, help opened up that third eye and that connection.
Hmm. Oh, that's amazing. Now, has the rest of your family experienced this?
Yeah. Well, my husband, of course, we both, and he's same thing too, because like he owns his own business too. And so sometimes when he's just stuck in his thought pattern kind of a thing, he'll come in and he'll get a little bit that movement, that inspiration. My oldest daughter has used it a little bit too. My youngest one, she's very hesitant on anything, anything that mom suggests,
Yeah. Bring.
teenagers.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least they don't think you're crazy for doing this.
Yeah. I don't know. I think she just thinks I'm crazy, period. So,
Absolutely. That is so cool. Now, you do other things as well. So you're a
mhm.
massage therapist, as you said, but you also do a form of hypnosis. What do
Yeah.
you do with that?
I do a little bit more of like the clinical therapeutic, I guess, side of hypnosis, basically just trying to kind of break patterns, behaviors, habits that we don't like and kind of move through. But I also do hypnosis with the light too, because it's another way of getting that little bit of that deeper trance and allowing that deeper subconscious level.
Yeah. I bet you have some pretty good results with that.
Yes. Yeah,
I
for
imagine.
sure.
I imagine. Right. Now, you're in the Kansas City area,
hmm
Overland Park, downtown Overland Park. Such a cool part of town. It really
Oh,
is.
it is. It really is. It keeps growing.
Right. I mean, there's a lot to do and offer in the downtown Overland Park area. It's just, it's a suburb of Kansas City, just on the west
Yeah.
side a little bit, but really cool space. And you've got a lovely space there. You've got some other folks who are practicing out of your space. Can you tell us just a little bit about that and what you've got
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah, so my space is Awakening Illumination. I call us an Enlightened Healing Collective. So I
Mm.
have Dr. Matt Turner, who is a channeler. I have Julia, who is an esthetician. I have Liz, who does Thai massage.
Mm.
And then I also have Rebecca, who does mediumship. So I kind of created this healing collective because I just kind of realized that there's so many different ways for people to heal, so many different ways for them to tap into their higher selves. And it's like what might align with one person doesn't necessarily fully align to the next person. Just like, like sound healing can be so moving for a lot of people. And, other people are just like, man, you know, and that's where it's like, okay, light can be so healing for people. Touch can be so healing for people. Like, connecting to your higher spirit, connecting to your past loved ones who have those messages for you. Like there's so many ways for people to heal and to bring them back to their love and their light. And that's what, I always tell people, just keep trying. You'll find what aligns for you because there's so many ways to connect. Like I always say, I'm always like, some people like country music. I'm like, I can't do country music. Besides Patsy Cline and maybe Dolly Parton.
Exactly. Can you
Yeah.
count them? Yeah, no, you're right. Like there's something for everybody. There really is.
Yeah.
Right?
Truly.
Doesn't work for you, try another modality. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got quite a bit going on there, and you're now so that is fantastic. I'm so thrilled to have you with us.
Yes, I am so excited to join. What a
Oh,
great group of people and
yeah.
healers.
It really does take a village so many times, and just it's the connection that you have with other healers, and it's just I'm so happy to have you with us. Now, but you do not book through our system, so that's important to know. So anybody's listening to this and they want to book with you, where do they go to book with you?
Awakeningillumination.com.
Nice. We'll have that in the show notes. And you can also book, you can get to your website through our website. So
Yes.
radiatewellnesscommunity.com, go to Stacy's page, go to the Lucia Light page. You can book that way too. So yeah, don't worry about it. There's ways to do everything that you want to do. No, that's wonderful. Now, is there anything we've not talked about that you think is important for listeners to know?
Not that I can think of other than just know that you're not meant to be stuck in pain. We are meant to enjoy this life. We are meant to spread love and light and to be joy. And so when you find yourself stuck in it, just reach out to Radiate. There's so many options on there of how to find ways to heal and connect to your higher self because we have that knowledge within. Just sometimes it's hard for us to see it.
I find the times that I might be struggling, that I might feel just things aren't working, or I feel like I'm running up against brick walls, is when I feel disconnected to myself and disconnected to
Mhm.
God, quite honestly.
Yeah.
That's, kind of where I come from. But I don't think there's anything that being connected to God and being connected to your higher self can't fix, right? Because I feel like that's a basis of just about everything.
Yeah. I agree.
Right, right. Well, thank you so much for having this conversation today. I think it's important for people to know all the different options that are available. And that yeah, I love what you said about we're all love and light. That's how we started.
Yes. Yes. We just have to remember it. And especially like as the times are now, I mean, it can be really hard to see it. And so sometimes we just have to take that time to stop and reconnect, like you said, to us, to God, to spirit, to nature, just all of it. We just have to take that time to stop.
We do. All right. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me today. This has been really fun and informative. I always enjoy talking to you.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Don't know what to watch next? Decisions, decisions. Well, we've got some suggestions. You can click this little video here and watch that. It's something that we think you're going to like. If you like the last one, you're going to like that one too. You can also click on the subscribe button. And if you do that, then you'll get notifications whenever we have a new video up. Win win, right?